there, my name is Kelly Dale with Off the Beaded Path, and this is your Must Know Monday for Monday, May the 14th. So as beaders in general, especially if you are a stitcher, you need good cutters or scissors or thread burning tools or whatever you use. I pretty much bead almost every single day. And since this is my job, my profession, and the Lindstrom cutters is what I use. I love these cutters. I have had these cutters for probably 6 years now and have never sharpened these. And they're just my favorite. But these are really expensive pliers. Depending on where you get them, they can cost you anywhere from $50 to $100 for one plier. Now, don't get me wrong. They are worth every penny you spend on them. But not everyone can afford to spend that kind of money on a plier or a cutter, and I completely understand that. So I was talking to some customers and I said, hey, I wonder what the best low-end priced cutter would be that I could suggest. And so I went to my wholesaler and I ordered a variety of their lower end. Now, when I say lower end, I went from $2 up to $20 to see if I could find the best scissor cutter that you guys could possibly use. So we tried these out in our different classes that we had here the last couple of weeks. My favorite low end is going to be this little guy right here. This is the extra fine thread snips, and this is what they look like. And I'm going to show you each of these. I'm actually going to be cutting Hannah thread, 1G thread, Nozu Sunoco, and a 10-pound fire line because I want to show you how each one of these different cutters cuts them. So this is my absolute favorite out of all of these. The great thing about it, these little babies are $4, so they are a really good low-end plier. Another favorite in class were these just called thread snips. This is what they look like right here. Okay, these babies, $2. I had one lady who's like, hey, I want 2 pair of these. She just loved them. But I kind of had a con about these. They're good cutters, don't get me wrong, but I had something that I didn't like about them. The other cutters that we tried out are these 4-inch thread scissors that look just like this. Again, they're a great low-end cutter costing $4. One that I am not going to carry, but that we also tried, were these Fiskars micro-tipped cutters. Now, you can find these at like Walmart in the craft section. You can find them at probably Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, but these are more of a high-end cutter. They're going to range you anywhere from, I've seen them as low as $12 and as high as $18. These are really, really great cutters. So I will just leave it at that. The other one that I wanted to show you was let me just do that right there. That thread and fiber scissor. Now these are the highest end. These are $20 for these pliers. But again, I'm going to show you each one cutting its different threads and let you kind of see how each of these can be used and maybe the pros and cons of them. So let's go ahead and get started. So the scissors I'm going to start with are my least favorite out of all of them. These are the 4-inch thread scissors. And when we tried these out in class, the lady who actually tested them in class was like, you know, hey, they're kind of awkward. They have a big hold here, but they kind of they're tight. They're very tight here at the little screw tip, so they're a little bit hard to actually cut. And if you're not careful, you can pinch your finger right here. Like when you cut, you can see here, you can almost pinch your finger. So that's a little bit awkward. So I just want to show you real quick. They are good cutters, but they're just kind of awkward. So that was the Hannah thread, cut very easily. Okay. It cuts the 1G really easily. Here is the Nozu Sunoco, cuts really good. And finally, your 10-pound fire line. That one cuts really, really good as well. The reason these are my least favorite is, like I said, they're bulky. They're kind of a bigger scissor, so they're bulky. But also, if you want to get into a piece of beadwork, say like this cuff here, if I wanted to get in really close, it would be kind of hard to get in really, really close to your beadwork. So again, these are the economy 4-inch thread scissors, and these are your price point of $4. So again, the economy thread scissors. The next one was the thread snips. Now, these are good cutters, but the thing that I did not like, if you hold them back here, they're kind of awkward to hold like this. One of my customers who tested them actually held them like this, but I told her, I said, you have to be really careful, because if you almost cut the pad of your finger right here, if you grab it in just the wrong place. So you kind of have to be careful about that. The whole time I was using them, they were good cutters themselves, but they were a little bit hard to hold. So I want to show you, this is the cutters cutting the Hannah thread. A little bit harder, you have to grip it, okay? Then the 1G, the Nozu Sunoco, and the 10-pound fire line. So all of these cut really, really well. It's just that these here, they're at a really good price point of $2, but they're a little bit harder to get used to when you start using them. So just be aware. Also, these don't come with any kind of cover, and the points are really sharp. So unless you're just going to leave them sitting out on your bead table, you would really need to put some putty on the top of them, or just keep your pack to keep them in, so that way you don't actually cut or poke anything that you're using. The next one were one of my favorites. These were the extra fine thread snips. These were at the price point of $4, and these are very springy. You actually just hold them like this. They're very, very, very lightweight. And so I want to show you, this is the Hannah thread. The 1G thread cuts with no problem. Nozu Sunoco, no problem. And the 10-pound fire line, no problem. So it cuts all of those really well. It's small. It does come with a clear cover that you put on the top. I've just already lost mine. So there does come with a clear cover, and they're just really nice, because you don't feel like there's any way that you can pinch yourselves while you're using it, and you can hold it back here, you know, up here, whatever you want to do. So out of all of these low-end pliers, this one was my absolute favorite, and again, that was the extra fine thread snips. The other ones are the actual thread and fiber cutters. Now these were the highest end cutter. These were coming in at $20. Oh, one more other thing I wanted to show you real quick before I forget it. On these thread snips, the thing I love about them, they have really small tips, so that if you want to get in there and you want to cut something really close, you can cut it without having any kind of leftover thread sticking up, really. So they're quite nice as far as a cutter, because see, you can see right here, I can get right in and snip that right off. So it's quite nice when you're using those. Okay, so back to my cutters. These again were our high end. These were this brand here. And these were good cutters. They cut everything really, really easily. I feel like I don't even feel it when I cut the actual thread. They're really, really nice. So if you have the extra money just to invest in these are probably going to be your longest lasting cutter as far as how long the blades will last you. If I had to purchase another pair of cutters, like really nice cutters, besides my Lindstroms, these would be probably the cutters that I would purchase. Again, with these being more of the high end. So I've got one more I want to show you. Whoop. Okay, these were the Fiskars, And again, you can get these pretty much anywhere who's going to sell craft or sewing supplies. These cut everything really, really well. I actually have these for my classes. When we have our classes, they cut all of your products really nice and smooth. And out of all the cutters, you know, minus the cutters I just showed you, these would come next in line to being the smoothest cutters. Like, you don't even hear when I actually cut the thread compared to some of these other cutters. So these are really good as well. Now again, these don't come with any kind of tips to them to slide over. So the point is very sharp, and you do have to be careful with those as well. And again, these come at a price point of anywhere from $12 to $16. So I hope you enjoyed learning all about cutters. We do have the cutters, the extra fine thread snips, the thread snips, and the 4-inch thread scissors, all on my website, which is offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. So if you ever needed a new pair of cutters, we have got the hookup for your cutters. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.